Stories are captivating for a reason. From childhood to adulthood, we are drawn to the lessons we learn, the exciting journeys we embark upon, the knowledge we gain, and the opportunity to unleash our imaginations. Now, more than ever, people strive to invest in a brand story. In fact, a recent study suggests that by telling their brand story well, companies have the power to increase the value of a product or services by over 20 times. To be able to do that, let's learn from the expert itself. Hey people, how's it going? Welcome you all to yet another interesting episode on the Marketing Manifest podcast. Today we have Punita Parekh, who is a media veteran for over a decade, specialized in broadcast media, in content marketing, storytelling for brands, where she looks at creating customized and integrated solutions for brands across various domains and sectors. She has worked with several leading companies such as Times Network, CNBC TV 18, etc. I welcome Punita to the Marketing Manifest show. Hey Punita,
Thanks.
how are you doing today?
Very good. Thanks so much for the lovely introduction.
Welcome. I mean, I'm really happy to have you on my show. I mean, it's a really honor for me to have such a person like you, like with a lot of experience. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get into today's episode. So by sharing your brand story through a combination of marketing and branding strategy, how do you think it can boost the brand value?
Sure. So, ML storytelling is a very powerful tool, and most companies kind of follow it.
Yeah.
And storytelling in simpler words is called content marketing, which should be followed by most brands and most companies across industries. And many successful companies have the ability to tell a story, in such a way that it can reinforce their brand perception as well as boost their sales. So telling your brand story in a way which kind of intrigues the audience, which kind of pulls the audience to listen to what you're talking is very important. And I would say, Emil, there are a few points which I would like to give to make your story strengthened, To make your story strengthened for the brand would be creating a perception for the brand in terms of persona, in terms of character. Secondly, developing an emotional bond on how your customers feel about the product. Thirdly, understanding the needs of the customers, the wants of the customers, the desires of the customers. Because why are you creating the product? You're creating the product for the customer. So why not create in such a way what the customer wants? And lastly, and most importantly, whenever you're looking at building an audience, it trusts you. They will look at kind of purchasing your products. So I would say storytelling should be applied by brands across industry to have a fulfilling campaign.
Awesome. Like I really like that point when you said like it is really important to know the customer's need. Only then, customers should feel that this product is really important. Brands should definitely work on that. Only then, customers will purchase the product, right? It's a very It's a very valid point which you said. So, what's your opinion? What's your opinion? What opinion do you have on micro, small, and medium enterprises to implement storytelling as a tool in their industry or maybe the particular niche they are into?
Yeah, SMEs are the core of the community anywhere in the world, be it India, be it America, be it United Kingdom. SMEs are the core, and everybody is like an entrepreneur. I see now so many times, so many days, So I would say every brand, be it small or big, has the ability to be a storyteller. And every company has a story to tell. So if your business can't kind of convey a story, your products and services won't have much appeal to your audience, So I would say if a small medium enterprise company would like to use storytelling or content marketing in their businesses, they should start with 4 points and keeping these 4 points in their minds and executing it accordingly. Number 1, think what matters. What do your customers want? What do your customers require? Secondly, forming an emotional bond with your story. It's not about just creating a story and which is plain game. No, it has to have some drama.
Yeah.
It has to have some emotion.
Only then people will start loving it, right?
Exactly.
There's no point in like
Because-
just doing a scripting and doing something which doesn't even relate to the audience or maybe the customers they are looking into.
Exactly. And the SMEs, whatever I've seen in so many years, create such beautiful products which are so amazing. So the SME should take the audience in a journey, in a beautiful journey through the storytelling for this particular brand. Because every story, needs a hero, and a hero is your customers,
Exactly.
not your products and not yourself. And I always believed in this because I've done storytelling and content marketing for so many years of my work tenure. The human brain, is kind of wired with stories. We always remember the rule of three, So you say the Goldilocks and the three bears, or the three little pigs. You'll always remember this because stories are created with mainly the rule of three. So I would say that the few takeaways from this entire question that you asked me is that if you want your marketing efforts to flourish, incorporate storytelling, because stories can kind of grab people's attention and connect with your audience emotionally, and most importantly, always be remembered.
Awesome. I mean, every brand definitely has to work on this because getting that emotional attachment with the customers is like a really important thing companies or brands should focus on. So that was a really insightful one as well. Like definitely people should start focusing on this, and or else there is no point in doing all those stuffs, right? I mean, it's of no value.
Exactly.
Awesome. So what do you think is the exact framework to transform the traditional product or marketing services into storytelling? Like, of course, there'll be an entire process to fill it up, right? So what is that exact framework would you suggest to, how does it work?
So, exactly. So, whatever I've been seeing, storytelling has become the buzzword. Everybody wants to share their stories, brand stories, personal stories.
Yeah.
So a framework for a great storytelling would be mainly wrapped up with few points which I would consider.
Okay.
Firstly, asking the why, because without a content strategy, your content can't be a real business asset. So start by asking yourself in terms of why am I looking at selling this product? Why am I selling this story? Because what do I want to achieve in this entire campaign or business? Once you ask the why, then you go to the what. In terms of what is it that I want the customers to know about my products, to know about my story. Thirdly, the who. The who means who is my hero in the story? Is it the character? Is it the customer? Is it the product? Who's important? And most importantly, where? Because without an effective structure, how do you look at building an important story? So I would say that these few points in terms of why, what, who, how, and where would kind of help you create a compelling story.
Awesome. I mean, this is a way too important point here, because like only if you are aware about what your end goal is, only then like what exactly you should do. If you're not sure about what your goal is, then there's no
What's point. What's the point?
That's true. I mean, I've seen a lot of brands like doing this mistake. They literally, like, I've seen my own. I mean, I've seen a few examples, but I don't want to name them over here. But still, I've seen a few ads like wherein there's no point. I mean, I don't even get that. Context, like what they're trying to say or what they're trying to do in that particular. It looks really irrelevant, and I'm not sure whether they are reaching it to their right audience as well. So these are the kinds of mistakes that brands do in today's world. So these are the main mistakes like brands do. So only if you start focusing, I mean, as you said, like only if you start focusing on these points, then it's the efforts what you're putting will come out into a good way. That's
exactly. You have to keep asking yourself these questions to be able to finally make a story of your brand, of yourself, whatever it takes.
Awesome. And I'm really excited to ask you this question. Can you tell me like how you helped a particular brand through storytelling?
Yeah. So you know what? I want to talk about a company. It's a medical company called Cleveland's Clinic. It's a company based in America, which provides clinical and hospital care for its customers and for its patients. And it's one of the largest hospitals in the country in America. So what was their mission, Emil? Their mission was to provide care of the sick and the needy. So their goals was to touch people's lives, to understand that they care for people. So what was a problem that they faced in their campaign or in their company? They wanted to kind of position their brand as that they care for their customers, they care for their audience, they care for their patients, they are caregivers. So how did they do it? So they kind of curated a content marketing video, okay? And that video was named Emil, Empathy, the Human Connection to Patient Care. Wow. So what did they do in this? So what did they do in this video, Emil? They kind of created a premise where they put a messaging which says, if you could stand up for somebody, if you could put yourself in somebody else's shoes, how would you feel? Hear what they say, like talk, whatever they're talking, feel them, feel what they say. So how do they do this? They kind of shot actual real people. Say for example, a man who's waited too long to be checked in a clinic, or probably a woman whose son is on life support because he just had an accident, a baby who's just been delivered. So these emotional moments in the video kind of explained that Cleveland's Clinic cares for their customers. They believe in being caregivers and not just being selfish about promoting their brands. So once this 2-3 minute video was across social media platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, all across, then what happened is Cleveland Clinic's perception for its customers became such that, if any problem I have in terms of my health issues, Cleveland Clinics is going to be there for me through and throughout. So the perception also happened, and also in terms of its reach, it reached millions of kind of views on YouTube. So all in all, it was like a successful campaign for its customers as well as for Cleveland Clinic.
Awesome. I mean, as I said, right, it's really important to have that personal and emotional touch with the audience. Like only then, as you said, like, people were able to trust. I mean, the trust factor comes in, right? Only when you have that personal touch, the trust factor comes in, and people will start trusting you more. And maybe even this could also help you in the word of mouth marketing as well. Only when people start feeling that I have the confidence, like if I go to Cleveland Clinic, I'll be back to normal. Like I'm just saying it, if suppose they are ill or something like that, I mean they just got that trust, right?
They're trusting the company more, because of just one video. And it made a huge impact on the entire community of healthcare, Once
these things are not done by each and everyone out here. I feel still there is a small gap over here, and I guess we as a marketing specialist, like we need to help people understand this and all this stuff. Awesome.
That's what I've been trying to do a lot on LinkedIn, educating my audience about the ABCD of content marketing and stuff.
I'm sure this video, when it goes out, like I'm sure like people are gonna love this, and people listening to this podcast right now, they're gonna love this podcast for sure. I'm pretty sure about that.
I'm sure.
So I always kind of end my podcast by asking this question. It's like, what is that piece of advice you want to give our audience who's listening to this podcast right now, Punitha?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I always believe in living in the present and stop worrying about the future, because eventually everything happens at the right time. So stop worrying, just be cool and be fearless and be a hustler.
that was wow. I guess we have all blown our minds listening to what you said, and this was such an insightful podcast as well. I literally got a lot of insights from you with the Cleveland Clinic thing, what you mentioned, and how people should start focusing on their audience, where exactly they have to target the audience, the location, the place, each and everything. This was really a good and insightful one. And I just wanted to say a few things over here. So there is so much more about to be said about stories, right? It's from all potential content marketing goals. But I just wanted to highlight a point which I remember right now. I remember Brian Elsenberg saying this: effective content marketing is about mastering the art of storytelling. But facts tell, but stories are the ones which sell out over there. What's your thought about this?
No, it's so true, because facts don't sell as much. It's more about what your true story, which comes out in your campaign. That's what sells, because that's the truth.
Awesome. I mean, that's what even I believe. Like, yeah, I mean, that's what exactly you need to start doing. Right?
It's so simple and yet effective.
Yeah. True. Very, very true. So awesome. So with that being said, like, thank you so much, Punita, for coming on to the Marketing Manifest show. It's been an honor to have, I mean, a person like you in my show. And I mean, I feel really energetic after listening to whatever you said, and I've learned a lot. I'm sure even the audience who's listening to this podcast right now, like, they are also happy with whatever you said, and I hope they also gained a lot of insight as well.
Emil, I just want to say thank you so much. I just want to say to the audience that Emil is doing such a great, educational, amazing job in terms of educating the audience about on his podcast for the Marketing Manifest, because not everybody has the passion to do something like this. So I think what you're doing for Marketing Manifest is amazing. Educating the ABCD of everything, which is, I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, awesome. My main motive was to start the podcast was to like educate young people. There are a lot of people, like, to be honest, the main reason to start this podcast was my juniors. Once I started doing things on marketing also, they were doing engineering, and I'm an engineering graduate. Okay, I never came from any management background or something like that. I was an engineering student, and then I wanted to do something in marketing, because that's where I felt that push to work, and yeah, exactly. That's where I felt energetic to be there. But I never wanted to be.
This is true, right?
Yeah.
I never wanted to be marketing gives you that energy.
True, very, very, very true. I never wanted to be and I did not want to do a IT job, but I literally wanted to do marketing. But when I started out, I was like, I did not know anything about much of marketing. But right now, I feel that I'm doing a good job right here. And the podcast was also about that. I wanted to educate young people. There are a lot of people who wants to do something in their life, but they are really stuck. They're not. There are a lot of articles and things out in Google, but only when a people who's working or doing something related to that particular field, only they will be able to help out these people out there. So yeah, that's the reason I started marketing the Marketing Manifest.
It's quite amazing, and I was very impressed with the name also.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Punita. To the audience out there, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. You'll get notified whenever I release a new episode. And yeah, I'll be back next week with another interesting episode on the Marketing Manifest podcast. Until then, stay safe and stay tuned. This is Emil Eji signing off. Peace out.